Welcome to this guide on understanding and ultimately winning most of your roulette bets. Today we'll break down the roulette wheel, the different types of bets you can make, the house edge, and some smart strategies to keep in mind. The roulette dozens martingale strategy gave me a high win rate, so make sure to keep watching the video till the end. Roulette wheels come in two main types, American and European. The main difference between these two wheels is that the American wheel has 38 numbered pockets, including both a 0 and a double 0, while the European wheel has 37 pockets, only with a single 0. That extra 0 on the American wheel adds to the house edge, making the European wheel slightly better for players. The roulette wheel's numbers alternate between red and black, with the 0 being green. The pockets are placed in a specific pattern, creating an even distribution of numbers across the wheel, balancing highs and lows, odds and evens, and reds and blacks as best as possible. The objective in roulette is simple: predict where the ball will land on the wheel after a spin. You can choose to bet on a specific number, a range of numbers, or certain groupings like odd, even, or red to black. Roulette tables have a specific layout where players place their chips. When you approach a roulette table, each player is assigned a different colored chip set, which helps the dealer track who made which bet. These chips have a set value that you determine at the start, and all bets for a single spin must meet the table's minimum betting requirements. Roulette bets are categorized as inside bets and outside bets based on where they are placed on the table layout. Inside, bets are riskier but offer higher payouts. These bets are placed directly on specific numbers or small groups of adjacent numbers. Let me quickly explain the different bets and payout rate. Straight up bet, betting on a single number. If the ball lands on your chosen number, you're paid 35 to 1. Split bet, placing a chip on the line between two numbers. If either of these numbers wins, you're paid 17 to 1. Street bet, placing a chip on the outer edge of a row of three numbers. Any of these three numbers wins you 11 to 1. Corner bet, covering four numbers that form a square. This bet pays out 8 to 1. Double street bet, covering two adjacent rows of three numbers each. This bet pays out 5 to 1. 5 number bet, an option on American wheels only, covering 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, and 3. This has the worst odds for the player with a house edge of 7.89%. Line bet, a bet on 6 numbers in 2 adjacent rows, paying 5 to 1. Outside bets cover broader groups of numbers, offering better chances of winning but lower payouts. Red or black, bet on whether the winning number will be red or black. This bet pays even money, or 1 to 1. Odd or even, betting on whether the winning number will be odd or even, pays even money as well. High or low, betting on either the range of 1 to 18, low, or 1936, high. This also pays even money. Dozens, betting on groups of 12 numbers, 1 to 12, 13 to 24, or 25 to 36. Each dozen bet pays 2 to 1. Columns, betting on one of the 3 vertical columns of numbers on the layout, each covering 12 numbers. This also pays 2 to 1. How bets are paid out. After all bets are placed, the dealer spins the wheel and rolls the ball in the opposite direction. When the ball lands in a numbered pocket, the dealer announces the result and marks it on the layout. The dealer then collects all losing bets and pays out winners according to the bet type. House edge. In roulette, the house edge varies between the American and European versions. The additional 0 on the American wheel increases the casino's advantage to 5.26% for most bets. On a European single 0 wheel, the house edge is 2.7%. For even better odds, look for tables with special surrender or end prison rules, which further reduce the house edge on even money bets. Today, we're diving into a roulette strategy that's often debated, but has its fair share of loyal followers, the dozens martingale. If you've played around with different roulette strategies, you might have heard of the martingale approach. It's high risk, high reward, and it's all about betting progressively to recover losses. This time, though, we're adding a twist by applying it to the dozens. Let's break it down from the beginning, step by step, so you can understand how it works and decide if this is something worth trying next time you're at the casino. What is the dozens martingale strategy? So here's the concept. In roulette, there are 36 numbers on the wheel, plus 0 or double 0. The numbers are divided into 3 groups, or dozens. 1 to 12, the first dozen, 13 to 24, the second dozen, and 25 to 36, the third dozen. The strategy here is pretty straightforward. Instead of betting on just 1 dozen, we bet on 2 out of the 3. This means we're covering 2/3 of the possible numbers, leaving only 12 numbers, plus 0 or double 0 uncovered. And since 2 of the dozens are covered, we stand a better chance of hitting one of our bets on each spin. Here's how it plays out. Let's walk through how a typical session might go with this strategy. Step 1. The initial bet. We'll start by putting a set amount, let's say $25, on each of our 2 chosen dozens. So, for example, you might place $25 on the first dozen, 1 to 12, and another $25 on the second dozen, 13 to 24. By doing this, you're covering 24 numbers out of the 36, plus a 0 if you're on an American wheel. Now, if you win on either of these dozens, you get a 2-to-1 payout. So a win would pay $50 on your $25 bet, and you'd come out ahead even after covering both dozens. Step 2. The martingale twist. Now, here's where the classic martingale part comes in. The idea of martingale is simple. Every time you lose, you double your bet on the next round. So if the first spin is a loss, the next bet would be $50 on each dozen, doubling our initial bet. And if that one loses too, we double it again on the next spin. The martingale strategy, as a lot of people know, is designed to cover your losses in one fell swoop once you hit a win. But it's important to note that this can add up quickly. By the 5th spin, if we're still losing, our bets will already be hitting some pretty high numbers. Here's how the betting progression might look. First spin, $25 on each dozen. Second spin, if we lost, $50 on each dozen. Third spin, if we lost again, $150 on each dozen. Fourth spin, $450 on each dozen. Fifth spin, $1,350 on each dozen. And if we want to go one level further, we'd be at a whopping $4,050 on each dozen. That's why this approach can be risky. You need to set a clear stop-loss limit to make sure you don't get caught in a downward spiral if luck isn't on your side. Managing the stop-loss limit. Most players who use this strategy set a stop limit after 5 bullets, or spins, as it's commonly called. So, if you reach that 5th bullet and haven't won, it's usually time to walk away. The good news is that statistically, it's pretty rare to go 5 spins without hitting one of the dozens you're betting on. But rare doesn't mean impossible. If you're playing at a higher limit, some people prefer to start with a lower base bet, say $10 or even $5, to help stretch their bankroll and allow for those additional bullets. Why people love this system. The appeal of this strategy is pretty clear. By betting on 2 dozens, you're statistically covering a lot of the wheel, so the odds of landing a winning number are much better. And with the martingale approach, just one win can recover all your previous losses and even leave you with a profit. It's a system that's all about maximizing your chances in the short term and getting that win within a few spins. The risk factor. But here's the trade-off. The stakes can get high fast. If you go several spins without hitting a dozen, you're facing an exponential increase in your bets. By the time you hit your 4th or 5th bullet, you're placing some pretty large bets on the table. And if you're playing on a tighter bankroll, it can be a lot of pressure. This is a system that can work for the short term, especially if you're disciplined, but you absolutely need to know when to call it and walk away. Other strategies, tips, and variants to look for. Atlantic City's surrender rule. In some Atlantic City casinos, if the ball lands on a 0 or 0-0 during an even money bet, such as red-black, you only lose half your wager. This rule cuts the house edge on those bets down to 2.63% on double zero wheels. European on-prison rule. In European casinos, some tables offer the on-prison rule for even money bets. If the ball lands on 0, the dealer places your bet in prison for the next spin. If your bet wins on the next spin, you get your original wager back without any additional winnings. This rule lowers the house edge on even money bets to 1.35%. Tips for playing roulette. Avoid the 5-number bet. This bet, only available on American wheels, has the worst odds in roulette with a house edge of 7.89%. Stick to outside bets: red, black, odd, even, or high-low. Bets have the best odds and can be a good choice for beginners. Consider European roulette. Whenever possible, play on a single zero wheel to benefit from the lower house edge. Bet what you can afford. Roulette is a game of chance, and outcomes are random. Set a budget and don't exceed it. Quit while you're ahead. Since the house edge will work against you over time, try to walk away with winnings rather than playing indefinitely. Wrapping up, roulette is an exciting game of chance that combines the thrill of a random outcome with a range of betting options. Although there's no guaranteed way to beat the game, understanding the rules, bets, and odds will make you a smarter, more strategic player. Whether you're playing for fun or aiming for a serious win, keep in mind that the key to enjoying roulette lies in knowing the game and betting responsibly. Thanks for joining, and good luck at the roulette table.